Alright guys, we're back with another YouTube video, and today I'm going to go over how I made $1,300 today trading Nasdaq in 5 minutes. So starting off, this is the trade that I took. I only took it on one Top Step account on a 50k Express account. And as you see over here, I made 1.3k. It is later in the day, so it's past New York session, so it does not show up anymore. But I have a screenshot, and as you see, I took a 1-to-1 RR. Now I can draw it out for you guys. So this is on alpha futures, but I had it drawn out on alpha futures as well. I just didn't take any entries on this. So pretty much starting off, this is what I notified the Discord. I notified for my draws on liquidity, these are my targets. So we were in gaps on higher time frames, and I wanted to wait for a displacement to confirm where we're going, because honestly I didn't, obviously you're not supposed to predict where market's going. I didn't want to predict that we're going to go down or up. I wanted to see where market's actually going to take us. So I also notified that we have this data high as well. If NQ decides to reject higher, we were very uncorrelated in the beginning. If I'm not mistaken, ES was bullish, like crazy bullish, and then NQ was just kind of dilly-dallying around. It wasn't really doing anything. If anything, it was a little bit bearish. So out of nowhere, ES started dropping. Here, let's see if we can go to the time frame. So it was at 6:30. Yeah, so as we see right here, this is when market opened right here at 6:30. So our 6:30 on Nasdaq, as you see, all we had was this. The 6:30 on ES, we had a huge pump up. Obviously, this is not the same as Nasdaq. We had a huge pump up the second we started selling off after this displacement candle right here, and after seeing NQ at the same time also displace kind of lower. It kind of proved to me, okay, ES and NQ are correlated, which means, okay, we're going bearish. We went higher. We either took out a draw on liquidity higher. Now we want the bearish lows. We want all the draws on liquidity lower. And what I know for the Discord is this low over here, but we were very close to this one. So realistically, you wouldn't even get to a 1-to-1 RR. But then we had this one over here. I think we also had more lower. I just didn't mark them out. So I ended up targeting to this one right here. And the second I noticed this displacement on ES, I already was confirmed that both these pairs are confirmed in the same bias direction. So all I waited for was another displacement. Practically, this was my retrace point. I wait for fair value gap retraces, but if it's a deep enough retrace, I don't really care about a fair value gap. As long as I get a retrace followed by a decent enough displacement, that's literally all I need for my entry. And then I enter and making sure I put my stop loss somewhere where I won't be stopped out. Realistically, in my opinion, if I was to enter right here and price came up and came all the way over here, I do not want to be in that trade anymore. It just doesn't make sense for price to come all the way up over here and then proceed and take out the draw on liquidity. So I entered obviously in the middle of this displacement candle just because this part right here, I wanted to be my break-even point. So this internal low is my break-even. Second we passed this, I immediately went break-even just to save myself for a loss, just because it is kind of a sketchy 1-minute entry. And I didn't like how we originally wicked this draw on liquidity and reversed the other way. Typically, that proves that a draw on liquidity was correct. So I wanted to know if we're going to be, if we're going to be definitely going and taking this next draw on liquidity out. I needed some sort of good confirmation. I wanted to go break even just in case. So once I went break even over here, obviously it's kind of a risk-free trade. I have nothing to worry about. So we had this many points down, and we actually exited down here a little past the draw on liquidity just to make it a 1-to-1 RR. Now, if you obviously held, it was like generational wealth, bro. We were literally dropping like crazy. Honestly, a lot of people just enter on evals. You can really enter anywhere in this leg and make at least 1.5k for a winning, for one of the 50% custody days on a Top Step account, or even a Alpha 0 account. For example, if you're a 10 with like 3 contracts, you can 100% pass the account today. These days, honestly, that were like kind of a bunch of volume and just either dropping or going up are the easiest days to pass eval accounts, but they are also the days that people do blow their XFA accounts if you're not careful. But that's practically all I took today. That was my whole thesis behind it. We just had a draw on liquidity, and let's see what my draw on liquidity was, honestly. Okay, so it was a 1-hour fair value gap draw. So obviously you see we have this fair value gap over here that has not been hit on the 1 hour. So if I'm expecting price to go hit that fair value gap to continue higher, which is exactly what happened. We came hit this fair value gap and this fair value gap over here, then we continued higher. So we did also have another draw on liquidity over here. then we obviously expect price to come tap into one of these gaps and then proceed higher. So that's why I marked the top of it, and that's why I targeted it. So that was the whole bias behind my trade and why I took it, and that is how I made 1.3K today. And honestly, it was a fairly quick trade. It wasn't even 5 minutes. I'd say it was probably less than 2 minutes. But again, I give out free draws on liquidity every single day. As you see, you can check over here. Okay, this is a new one. I used to put them in announcements. So there's so many draws on liquidity, signals, literally anything that you guys need. I also have a questions tab where I answer everyone's questions, whatever questions you guys have. Video suggestions, if you guys want any videos for me to make on YouTube and explain anything thoroughly, I will do it. Trading glossary, this explains everything you need to know about trading and all the key terms. And then of course, trade review, any trade you take, if you want me to review, send it over here and I'll review it and I'll DM you personally or in the group chat. And just a regular trading chat that people can just talk about stuff. Overall, I want to build a full community to help people completely for free. All my signals are for free. Everything's for free. You can join it with the link in my bio, or you can join it with the link in my description, on my YouTube description. But it'll be in the bio of this video as well. And that's pretty much it for today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.